Those of you who come to the show often, you met my son Jonah in May. Jonah was an intern or an indentured service, intern something. But he said to me after that, "You never tell stories about me, so here's a story about Jonah." Jonah, from the time he was very young, Jonah has formed these notions in his head about what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he's capable of, what he's not capable of, what he'll do, what he'll refuse to do. And these ideas become facts to him, and they form his identity. He clings tight to them. This can be a really good thing. He's fiercely loyal. He's an excellent student as long as he is interested in the subject matter. He can be kind of a inflexible person. He doesn't want to try new things. He doesn't. But sometimes a switch will flip, and all of a sudden everything's different. This kid wouldn't do anything on schedule. And when my kids were little, I was kind of a by-the-book mom, by which I mean I would buy a book and read the book, and the expert would tell me what to do. And my feeling was, I'll do what the expert tells me to do, and the kids will do what the expert says the kids will do, and everything will be fine. But Jonah was not with the program. He didn't hit any of the milestones on schedule. He wouldn't eat. For a whole year, the kid had nothing but chicken nuggets and cantaloupe. That was it. He wouldn't give up his bottle when he was supposed to. He wouldn't give up his diapers when he was supposed to. And then one day, he goes, "I'm gonna go in the potty." Oh, okay. And the next day, he's standing up and going at it like a man, and we never used diapers again. It was just like that. The kid who wouldn't eat, one day at a buffet at my mother's place goes, "I think I'll have the duck." We're like, "What the fuck, duck?" But there it is. And I'm trying to be kind of this, experiential person. Like, you want to take the saxophone? Great, we'll do saxophone. We'll watch Clarence Clemens videos, it'll be great. You want to quit the saxophone? We'll quit the saxophone. I don't care. Nobody ever died from quitting saxophone. But Jonah won't swim. And people do die when they don't know how to swim. Jonah likes going to the water. We'll go to the lake and he'll sit at the edge and play in the sand. And we go to the ocean and he lets the waves wash over him while he sits at the shore. And it's really cute because he's wearing these cargo bathing suits, and I don't realize it, but the waves fill the cargo pockets with sand, right? And he stands up and his little tushy's out on he's adorable. And we go to my mother's pool and he sits at the edge, but he will not let us bring him in. We go to hold him and bring him in the water, and he clutches our shoulders and he cries and he screams. And something's gotta give, right? So I start asking around on the mommy circuit, and I hear about this guy at the Y known as Bill the Baby Whisperer, right? Because I can't put Jonah into group classes. This is not gonna work. He can't hack it. I've gotta put him into privates. So I sign him up for some lessons with Bill. And we get in the car and we're going to the Y. And I talked to Jonah because one of the books said, be honest with your kids. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with my kids. And we go to the Y all the time, right? Because I exercise, and he goes to the kids club, and I say, we're gonna go to the Y, come on. And we get there, and we walk right past the kids club, and I don't know what he thinks he's in for, but he's all good, right? And we get to the locker room, and he helps me take off his clothes and put on his little bathing suit, and we go into the pool area, and there's two pools. There's the big, long lap pool for the adults, and there's this kind of smaller, square instructional pool for the kids, right? And I hand Jonah off to Bill, and I go to the bleachers where the mommies sit. I think I'm just gonna read my book or something. And Bill and Jonah, at first it's cool. They're on the steps, and Jonah has his face in the water, and they're blowing bubbles. And then Bill gives him a clipboard, and he wants him off the steps. And Jonah's having none of this. And the screaming starts. And for the remainder of this 30-minute lesson, Jonah screams. And finally it's over, and we're in the locker room, and I hold him close to me, and I tell him, good job for trying. And I promise him that I will never trick him when we're coming to the Y. I will tell him either we're going to the kids club or we're going to swim lessons. But there are going to be more swim lessons. This is not something we're going to negotiate. So during the week, I go kids club and Jonah goes okay, and I go kids club and Jonah goes okay, and I go swim lessons and Jonah freaks out and starts to scream before we even get out of the car. And I pick him up and I'm bringing this flailing, shrieking 3-year-old into the Y. I get him into the locker room. I have to sit on my toddler to get him into his bathing suit. But I do this because we've got to get him. Look, swimming is not a lifestyle choice. It is a life skill. You don't have to be good at it. You don't have to join the swim team. You don't have to learn to do that butterfly stroke, right? But you do have to be able to get to the side if you fall in. So I sit on the kid, I put him in his bathing suit, and I bring him into the pool area, and I hand him off to Bill, this screaming toddler, and I go sit on the mommy bleachers. And this goes on for a while, and this other mommy, not knowing like whose kid is whose, looks at me and goes, oh, that poor baby, don't you feel sorry for him? I'm like, not really. And the swim lesson is over, and I gather him to me, and I bring him into the locker room, and I tell him, good job, you're gonna be fine, you're getting the hang of it, you're doing great, right? The next week comes, and I go, kids club, and he goes, okay. And I go, kids club, and he goes, okay. And I go, swim lesson, and he goes, okay. And I go like, what? Wait, what? And he goes, okay. And I guess the switch has flipped, right? And I bring him into the locker room, and he helps me put on his bathing suit, his little, flip-flops. And we go into the pool area, and Bill the baby whisperer meets us at the locker room door, and he says, I am really sorry. I did not have a chance to call you. The instructional pool is closed, some kid pooped. And they have to go through this protocol to do whatever they do to make it so de-poopify the pool, yeah. And we're in this little standoff now. And I'm here with Jonah, and there's Bill the baby whisperer. And I go, well, why don't you try that pool? And Bill goes, well, it's colder and the kids don't like it. And I wait a second, and I don't quite look at Bill and go, get in the pool, but kind of close. And Bill takes Jonah, and they get into the cold pool in the shallow end, which if you're 2.5 feet tall, may as well be the deep end. And for 30 minutes, Jonah lets Bill hold him under his belly while he moves his arms, and hold him on his back while he kicks his feet. There's no screaming, there's no fussing, there's no nothing, because the switch has flipped, and now Jonah's a swimmer. And he gets out of the pool, and I gather him to me once more, and we go in the locker room, we get him dressed, we stop for a treat on the way home, I tell him good job. And I realize that you can't really do this by the book. When we're young, we get pregnant, and we think we're having a baby, but really we're bringing a person into the world, and this person is going to have ideas about how to live and who to be. And in that moment, I realized that having a baby is easy, but raising a person is hard. Thank you.